government warns against erection of illegal structures on right of way. Akwa Ibom State Education Officers Forum bestows grant patronship on Deputy Governor. Federal government seeks to harmonize revenue generating agencies for optimum productivity. Plus, President Tinubu emerges new ECOWAS chairman, urges leaders of member countries to defend rule of law. Details of these and more in a moment. Good afternoon and welcome to Akbc 45 News at noon. I am Samuel Ayara. Details of this is streamed live on our Facebook page at Akbc Radio and TV. Individuals who hurry to erect illegal structures on right of way with intent of receiving compensation from government have been advised to desist forthwith. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Romano handed down the warning at Ikot-Ekpenudo Nsrubim local government area when he attended the interdenominational service in his honor organized by the people of his hometown. Pastor Romano said government will not pay compensation for such illegal structure, according to Patience John.
I appreciate these people for putting together the thousands. Government advised the people against erecting illegal structures on areas meant for government projects, describing such actions as counterproductive. The government reported the attitude of some communities that are bent on receiving compensation before allowing projects to be executed in their communities, stating that any community that prevents government from assessing land for development stands the risk of losing such projects.
Let me say, any village, any local government, we are taking development to about compensation, we will move away from that place quietly. We are prepared to develop the rural areas. I will not struggle to help my people in this village. But sending the unbroken movement, I was in the movement and even though I am dog. The more they know some people are coming now. There will be a big compensation and was not going to get the people will leave. I don't know the surveyor young gun for anyone young for nobody like pay compensation. The government is about to run down the directors of banking and very other for that hero. For that person, when you got this year, I can report me probably having that CNN. Now the government is
When the service paid tributes to the next paramount ruler of the area, it even made the jobs for both who were described as a light bearer in the local government that brought some developmental projects to the area and prayed for the repose of the soul. The governor was accompanied by his wife, Mrs. Patience Romano, the deputy governor, Senator Akbc, the secretary to the state government, Prince Tinubu, members of the judiciary, and political stakeholders. Patience John, Akbc News.
The people of Ikot-Ekpenudo village in Nsrubim local government area on Sunday went to thank God for the emergence of their son, Pastor Romano, as state governor. The service, which was held at the Apostolic Church, Ikot-Ekpenudo area headquarters, had the wife of the governor, Mrs. Patience Romano, the deputy governor, Senator Akbc, among all the government officials in attendance. Government House reporter Patience John reports that the governor was honored with the Joshua Award by the church community.
At the interdenominational service, Governor Mono took the only Bible reading, said it was pertinent to return to his roots to thank God who made him successful at the polls. The governor appreciated clergymen from all the churches in Ikot-Ekpenudo village who came together in prayer and other forms of support that have helped him assume leadership as the governor of the state. message, the immediate past current chairman and chairman of the planning committee for the service, the Reverend Louis Ikwere, thanked God for his blessings on the people of Ikorodu for giving them their number one citizen and commended Governor Mono for the programs he has embarked on since he assumed office. He on behalf of the people prayed for God's blessings, guidance, and wisdom on the governor. Preaching on the theme of the Thanksgiving, the man after God's heart, the area superintendent of the Apostolic Church Ikorodu area, Eketfield, Apostle Ezekiel Ian, likened the governor to the biblical David who was chosen by God to lead his people. He advised the governor to imbibe the virtues of compassion, love, and humility while wishing him success in office.
When God says nothing else to come to pass. Hallelujah. The Bible says God will bring to pass what he has appointed for me.
The Thanksgiving service featured intercessory prayers and thanksgiving by the governor and his entourage. Precious John, Akbc News.
The Akwa Ibom State Deputy Governor, Senator Akone says the Arise agenda of Umoino administration has utmost concern and interest in the development of education sector in the state. Senator Yayin stated this when a delegation of the Akwa Ibom State Education Officers Forum, led by the Permanent Secretary, State Secondary Education Board, Barrister Sukwa Selong, called on her. Our Government House reporter, Utibi Malkon, tells us more.
Addressing the team, Senator Yahani told the forum of the importance of education to the Arise agenda. The Deputy Governor, while welcoming them, called for an educational summit for the training and retraining of teachers in order to educate the younger generation for posterity. She emphasized the need for proper monitoring and supervision for the sector to succeed, explaining that any nation without quality education is bound to fail.
Education is the foundation of everything. It's a process, it's a way where the younger generation, the future leaders, process. It plays an Akwa Ibom State, by the special grace of God, has shown great concern towards education. In the time past, and then to crown it up, the right agenda of present administration led by Pastor Mopasi Eno gives education a key role.
The chairman of Akwa Ibom State Education Officers Forum, Mrs. Gloria Leong, on behalf of the entire membership of the forum, commended the Deputy Governor for deeming its importance to grant them audience, explaining the belief that as an astute educationist, Senator Yahani will assist the forum for overall success of the sector.
Your Excellency, I will settle down with His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Moino, for the real witness of delivering democratic brilliance for the state. We have come to collaborate as critical stakeholders in the education sector and contribute our quota towards the formulation and articulation of the present educational policy trusts.
The Director, State Quality Assurance Service, Mrs. Roslyn Anthony, setting the tone for the visit, said the purpose was to identify as well as congratulate Senator Yahani on her elevation.
And through it all, we have seen the good works that God has used you to do, both in the state, in the nation, and in the world at large. And we celebrate God on your behalf. And we say, thank you and congratulations for the marks in our lives. God bless you. Amen. And God keep you.
High point was the induction of Senator Yahani into the forum as a grand patron. Butumi Malkon, Akbc News.
The Deputy Governor, Senator Akone Yaranyi, has sued for peace and harmony among residents and communities in Akwa Ibom affected by boundary crisis. Senator Yaranyi made the call during an interactive meeting with local government chairmen, paramount rulers, and other stakeholders of the affected communities. The meeting held at the Akbc Hall of Governor's Office, Uyo, according to Tibima Okon.
The state chairman of Boundary Committee, Senator Yarayi, while addressing the people, noted that boundary, interstate and land issues, if not properly handled, led to loss of lives and properties. She said it is our responsibility to interface with people and see how best each issues can be resolved peaceable, having noticed that about 21 issues in the handing over note from our predecessor. She explained that the new administration, led by Pastor Moyeno, pushes against bloodshed and communal skirmishes.
This is my first interactive meeting of the Boundary Committee, that by the special grace of God, I serve as the chairman. Akbc State is known as a state that loves peace. Peace has been there, and we will, as a new administration, do everything humanly possible to ensure that we continue to maintain peace in our various local governments, in our various communities, between brother and sister. We are all one.
Maiden meeting attended by 78 persons, including chief security officers, 18 youth leaders drawn from various local governments in the state, featured interactions by chairmen, paramount rulers and stakeholders.
Let me also summons your board initiative. Let us know that we have effective access to you as far as the issue of boundary dispute settlement. So, well, as council chairman, we are always available, always ready to play our role to ensure we have a peaceful government. Because we have been in our different years, a lot of distractions, a lot of attention that we spent on some other thing other than development. I would suggest where there is no permanent solution immediately, I think it is best that the government is stepping and take over solution immediately, rather than waiting for too long.
I would appreciate if you could encourage the chairpersons in these two local governments to take involvement so that we could bring this issue to an end.
So, let me not go far. We shall come and see at excellence and brief her so that she may know where the assistance is coming. The former deputy governor, I believe she will build on that and it will build it better for us to have peace in it. So thank you.
One of the security operatives in the state said they were on the same page with the state government to ensure that peace was maintained in the state.
And crisis that takes years in other parts of the country to resolve.
Akbc News.
When the news returns after the break, federal government set to harmonize revenue generating agencies for optimum productivity. Don't go away. Welcome back. It's still the news at noon on Akbc channel 45. Now to the rest of our stories. The role of women and girls to global transformation has been emphasized. This came to the fore as the world celebrates the 2023 Population Day on the theme Unleashing the Power of Gender Equality, uplifting the voices of women and girls to unlock our world's infinite possibilities. The celebration also seeks to highlight the crucial roles that gender equality plays in achieving sustainable development, as well as create a more inclusive and prosperous world for all. Miriam Akbc in this special report tells us more.
Gender equality remains a pressing issue globally, with persistent disparities and discrimination impacting individuals across all walks of life. World Population Day serves as a reminder that achieving true gender equality is not only a matter of human rights, but also a catalyst for social progress and economic growth.
As far as individuals are concerned, they need a better life, they need a good life, they need to go to school. So the international community to collaborate vehicle to drive gender equality.
Recognizing the immense potentials that abound in empowering women and girls, governments, organizations, and individuals around the world are joining forces to address the systemic barriers that hinder gender equality.
Because I believe, first and foremost, let's look at it from the perspective of God. Okay, God created both man and woman, you understand? In the sight of God, we are equal, so nobody is inferior, nobody is less of a human, you understand? So I believe that we can be, be ruling and be winning together, as man and woman, so nobody is less of a human being.
By promoting equal access to education, healthcare, economic opportunities, and decision-making positions, societies can unlock the full potentials of half of the population.
I really much believe because of the experience in the world
and well-being. All right, safety is every man's issue. But I really think the tradition, our tradition and culture places women more where they are secure.
On World Population Day, we celebrate the strides made towards gender equality while acknowledging that there is still much work to be done. Efforts to eliminate gender-based violence, ensure reproductive rights, close the gender gap pay, and challenge harmful gender norms are essential to creating a more just and equitable world.
The most important thing is when we have a morally, spiritually oriented woman. Sometimes they say father involvement and mother involvement in the society.
By unleashing the power of gender equality, we can foster innovation, drive economic growth, and build sustainable communities.
Every man and every woman have their own differences. I think the male child and the men also should be assisted equally. However, the weak nature of women does not really make them weak. They are very strong. Where they are strong is what makes them women. Men are strong in what makes them men.
Some believe when women and girls are given equal opportunities to thrive, they can contribute fully to society, break cycles of poverty, and shape a brighter future for themselves and future generations.
I'm so happy about the Supreme Court judgment that said there is no way you can determine and share a family's property without a recourse or considering the interests of the women.
Men and women are actually the same because we women are also human beings. Men too are human beings, so we are the same.
As we mark World Population Day, let us stand committed to dismantling gender inequality by promoting a world where every individual, regardless of their gender, can reach their full potentials. By working together, we can create a world that will cherish and value the contribution of its members. From the popular Ibon Plaza, Miriam Akbc, Akbc News.
The federal government is set to integrate the activities of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, and the Federal Inland Revenue Services in Nigeria. The special advisor to the President, Ahmed Tinubu, Zak Adediji, disclosed this on Monday to newsmen, saying that government will double the country's total annual revenue, which is currently below 15 trillion naira, by deepening the nation's revenue collection system and not by adding extra taxes. According to the president's revenue chief, Nigeria has a revenue problem, expressing the hope that the current administration will tackle the challenges through fiscal discipline and harmonization of revenue channels, using technology to view all government revenue-generating agencies in real time. Adediji clarified that the Tinubu administration is not going to collapse revenue-generating bodies like the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, and the Nigerian Customs Service. Rather, he said, it will use the technology to integrate all revenue in real time and remove any form of government within government. President Bola Tinubu has urged leaders of the West African sub-region to work towards achieving peace as well as defending democracy. President Tinubu, who was unanimously elected as chair of the 16-nation Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, at the 63rd Ordinary Session of the Authority of Heads of States and Governments of the sub-region, reflected on the threats to peace in the region, which has reached alarming proportions with terrorism. The president unfolded his agenda The president unfolded his agenda for elaborate socioeconomic plans for the sub-region and encouraged trade and investment among member states. President Tinubu said Nigeria will organize a trade and investment summit in October to drive home the importance of private sector-led economic growth in the sub-region. The ECOWAS chairman called for improved private sector participation in the efforts towards the economic development of member states as well as their social integration. With that, we draw the curtain on our news at noon. But before we go, a look at the stories that made the headlines. Individuals who hurry to erect illegal structures on rights of way with the intent of receiving compensation from government have been advised to desist forthwith. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umaino handed down the warning at Ikorekpenudo, Nsibubim local government area, when he attended the interdenominational service in his honor. The Akwa Ibom State Deputy Governor, Senator Akoneyanyi, says the Arise agenda of Umaino administration has utmost concern and interest in the development of the education sector in the state. Senator Yanyi stated this when a delegation of Akwa Ibom State Education Officers Forum, led by the Permanent Secretary, State Secondary Education Board, Barrister Asukwa Selong, called on her. That's the news. The rest of the day's programs continue while you look forward to the next bulletin by 8 o'clock in the evening. Between now and then, I trust you continue to have yourself the best of the day. My name is Samuel Ayara.